Since opening in 1958 as the Ramby Raceway dirt track, through its transition to pavement in 1974 to today, Myrtle Beach Speedway has not only been the scene of great weekly action, but a springboard for stock car racing royalty. 4 generations of Pettys, Lee, Richard, Kyle, and Adam. 3 generations of Earnhardts, Ralph, Dale Jr., and Kelly cut their teeth at the South Carolina track, where the list of winners includes the likes of Buck Baker, Dick Hutcherson, David Pearson, Ned Jarrett, who earned his first victory in what is now known as the NASCAR Cup Series here in 1959. The semi-banked half mile is the home of the annual Myrtle Beach 400 and Icebreaker 200 late model races, and hosts weekly NASCAR Whelen All-American Series races, as well as various classes, including late model Charger, Super Trucks, and Mini Stocks. In 2020, the track was sold to a land developer with intentions of building hotels and condos. That deal has since become old news, and for now, the track remains, although dormant, except for the likes of iRacing community. Tonight, it's the Numb Thumbs Racing Late Model Stock Finale, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Myrtle Beach Speedway in the virtual sense, as this place is, well, pretty much torn down in real life at this point, but it lives on forever here in the iRacing sim. We're into qualifying here for the final race of the Late Model Stock Tour. Let's take a look here at the race details, though. 115 laps the race distance, 78-degree ambient temperature, 45% humidity, partly cloudy skies, breeze at about 2 miles per hour. Track temperature nice and cool at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Drivers do have a 65% fuel load tonight. 2 sets of tires available over the wall. No fast repairs. Count them, none, not one, but 3 green-white checkered finishes if necessary, if we have to go to them. Majority of the field already completing their qualifying laps here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. With that, we've got a few minutes remaining in the qualifying session. Only a couple of drivers, looks like one to be specific, has yet to take a lap. That's Tom Barish. We'll see if he gets out there for the race session. But in the meantime, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back after this. Going to try and stop Smith. He drops down below, throws the block, up the racetrack, throws another block. McCann goes to the outside, 3 wide for the race lead in the win here at Daytona. Crosses the stripe and we're all reckoning. Brian McCann takes the checkered flag. Blaze has newer tires, 6 laps newer to be specific. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. He makes some contact with Zach Millett. Millett drops it back to the bottom. Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Zach Millett Millet's going to win through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short's going to win this. He does. Vincent Short wins. Back at Myrtle Beach Speedway, the finale here of the NTRL Late Model Stock Tour. Let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position, the number 77 with a lap time of 18.836 seconds. It's Cameron Curto. Outside front row, the number 89. Missed it by 11 thousandths of a second. It's Brian Rose. Starting in the second row, it's the 315 of Zach Millet. Rhett Tucker will start in the fourth position. Kevin Winker in the number 42 will roll from the fifth spot. Jared Barclay in the 10 starts in position number 6 with Jesse Sperling starting 7th and Double O Joe Bennett starting in 8th. Starting in the 9th position, it's Chris Klein, the number 51. 10th goes to Joe Tucker. 11th starter, it's the 1 of Derek Welch with Dylan Bryant to his outside starting in the 12th position. Starting 13th, it's Chris Goins, the number 41 with Curtis Cairns, the 72 rolling 14th. Tommy Janikowski, the number 93, starts 15th with Scott Milner, the 31, starting in position number 16. 17th starter, it's the 113 of Tony Placanica with Anthony Williams in the 5, starting 18th. 19th starter, it's Jesse Redding. Russ Endicott will start 20th, and Tom Barish credited with 21st position on the grid here today. It's your starting lineup from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Field beginning or about to begin to roll out of pit lane here momentarily. Field rolling out of pit lane here for one of 2 pace laps before we get underway. Again, I want to mention everybody here, unfortunately, we're running at reduced resolution here tonight. Not sure what has changed between now and Monday evening, but we've got a significant issue with frame rate loss here tonight. So I had to go back old school to where we were early on in our broadcasting days. Only 1080p tonight, no 4K streaming. Cameron Curto and Brian Rose going to lead them to green. Barney with the green flag in hand.
Green flag.
Field on a turn number 4 very quickly. Cameron Curto leads them back to start finish. He leads lap 1. Brian Rose, though, very aggressive to the outside. He's going to tuck back in because he's going to watch the inside with Zach Millet taking a peek. The 99er Rhett Tucker there, he's in the mix. He's going to be difficult here tonight as well. Still the battle for the top spot. Brian Rose has switched lanes, gets to the bottom of the racetrack, inside Curto, off turn number 4. Cross start finish. Rose is going to lead it. Five laps in, top 5 looks like this. Brian Rose, Cameron Curto, the 99er Rhett Tucker, Zach Millet in 4th, Kevin Winker in 5th. Not a whole lot of positions being changed at this stage of the race. Early on, it is. The biggest mover is backwards. Tony Placanica has lost 3 spots from the drop of the green flag. He runs 20th. Everybody else is either up or down, only 1 spot. So people just trying to get a handle on the race cars, trying to feel it out, get into a rhythm here. 115 laps, of course, the race distance here tonight. Tom Barish is in the session. We do see him listed as 21st on the board, but doesn't look like he took the green flag. It appears he didn't click the watch button again. Rose still out in front. Curto there right to the back bumper. Shows just about 2/10, but man, there's not a whole lot of distance between the 89 and 77. Maybe a couple of feet, maybe 3 at most. Rhett Tucker there, a half car length, maybe a full car length off the back bumper of Curto. Millett running 5th. Winker still 5th. Again, positions relatively stable here at the racetrack right now. To the outside wall on corner exit there in just a bit. Not sure how much that's going to affect his race car. We got Azarius90 in the stream chat helping us out. Certainly appreciate that. Says, make sure if you enjoy the broadcast to drop a like. Ooh, maybe even share it. Every little bit helps. Back to the action here. Rose still out in front. Curto 2nd. Tucker 3rd. Millett 4th. And Winker runs 5th. Like a battle for position there a moment ago between Derek Welch and Joe Tucker. This for the 9th spot, but the caution is out. Chris Goins facing the wrong way. Let's see what happened here to the 41 of Chris Goins. Puts us on our first caution of the night. See, 00 Joe Bennett, top side on the racetrack, way up the racetrack. Joe's going to get into the fence here. No, not. But he does get in the right rear Goins on the exit. I think Joe may have had so much wheel into it trying to keep it off the fence rather than lift. But once it finally straightened out and caught, it turned left, of course, into the right rear of the 41 of Chris Goins. Try and get a better angle on it. Again, my apologies for the blurriness. Sometimes these cars get a little weird since the update. I'm not sure of the reasoning behind it. It just kind of looks like they're apparating through water, but from that perspective, kind of hard to tell. Check the blimp here, see if that's any better. Yeah, it looks like Joe just kind of came down a hair, got into the right rear of Chris Goins on the front stretch here. So we got some takers on pit lane here, a handful for that matter. Drivers that stayed out were Rhett Tucker, Chris Klein, Derek Welch, Scott Milner, Anthony Williams and Tony Placanica. It looks like everybody else up and down pit road made some sort of a pit stop, albeit whether it was tires or fuel only. Brian Rose did pit. He's going to be, I think, the first driver back out there post-pit stop. Again, it may have been fuel only for everybody, but there's some higher times in here as far as how long they spent in the pits. 11.7 for Rose. He was still first out. Quicker times, you had someone in there in the 7-second category. That was actually Zach Millett, so certainly no tires on the 315 at this stage. But Cameron Curto, a 24-second plus pit stop. I can't imagine he needed tires, but I think he may have gotten them whether he wanted them or not. Forgetting to uncheck that little box can cost you, and here he is now. Potentially took 4 tires. Don't know for certain if that was the case. We didn't witness it, but if that is the case, he's certainly at a disadvantage the rest of the way. Pace car is off, green back in the air. Rhett Tucker with the advantage here off the restart. 20 laps complete. Tucker leads him down into turn number 1 over Chris Klein in the number 51. Derek Welch running third in the 1. Scott Milner fourth, Anthony Williams in 5th. Williams now up 13 positions from the start of this race. Well, he was. Brian Rose just took one away. Williams in the 5. He's going to try and battle back on the outside, but I don't know if that's going to be a successful attempt. Rose gets clear. Now so does the 42, or at least a portion. Now he's clear. So Williams has slipped back down to the 7th position. He's hung out on the outside, so it looks like he's going to lose even more now if Barclay gets to the inside. And we got trouble. Brian Rose into the wall on the exit at turn 4. Might have got up on his lid. Caution number 2 on the Speedway. Well, let's get a look at it. Looks very similar to what happened to Chris Goins, except far more violent. In this case, though, Milner kind of held his line on the exit. Rose starts to come up and not clear. Millett back in pit lane. I don't know if Millett sustained some damage, and that's what's prompted him to come to pit road. I don't see anything on the car that looks too outwardly obvious. He's going to put right sides on it. This I find very curious. Just rights. So 25 laps in. Rhett Tucker still your leader. 51 of Chris Klein, Derek Welch, Kevin Winker, Scott Milner, your top 5. Jake Sperling in the chat, cheering on Jesse Sperling. Jesse running back in the 10th position. A little bit of right front damage on the 29. Field still riding in behind the iRacing pace car. I expect we get the 1 to go this time by. And there it is. Pace car lights are out. So next time by, we lap 28. Get the restart, get this race back underway after we finish caution number 2. Both incidents kicking off really out of turn number 4 and resulting on Pretty big wreck here on the front straightaway. The first one with Chris Goins, not too severe, though he does still have damage to be fixed. Don't know if he's back out. He is back on the racetrack. Still 1 lap down, but he's the first car 1 lap down. So if we get another caution here, he should be able to get that lap back and still be in contention. Green flag back in the air. Tucker now leads Derek Welch. Welch up into that second position. Started 11th, so he's having a strong run towards the front of the field here. So is Scott Milner, though. He's up 10 spots in P6. Anthony Williams and Jesse Sperling battling for position. Williams in the 5 down low. Sperling the black, red, and white number 29. In behind them is the 8 of Dylan Bryant. He's closed into the back of Sperling as well. Might go around the long way to get around the 5 of Williams. Meanwhile, Zach Millett with fresh right side tires. Again, don't know how much of an advantage that's going to be. We've had 2 cautions in the first 20-so laps. Meanwhile, up front, change for the second position. Kevin Winker has completed the pass on Derek Welch, and Welch pounds the outside wall with the right side of the car. Just pushed too hard on the exit of 4, washed up the racetrack. I'd be curious if that car's got some damage. Certainly damaged the right side, but did it do anything to the right front wheel or suspension assembly? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Jared Barclay now up into the top 5. He runs 4th. Chris Klein still 5th. Millett into the picture here. He's completed a pass on Anthony Williams. Now he sets his sights on the 8 of Dylan Bryant. Again, Millett's on a completely different strategy from a lot of the guys in the field now. Made an early pit stop at the first caution, another pit stop at the second caution. Changed out the right side tires and, of course, topped off the fuel. And we got trouble.
Got you loud and clear. I don't know why you can't hear Earl.
Scott Milner in trouble. Tony Placanica was also involved.
Need you to check your radio connections. Check the one on your headset, on your headboard, actually, on your left-hand side, on your headrest. 1, 2, 3, loud and clear. You got a good copy?
Well, let's see what happened here with Scott Milner and Tony Placanica for 3rd caution of the night. He was to the outside of Cameron Curto. Milner turns in. Does the rear end just step out on him? Jesse Redding gets into the left rear. Makes contact. Loosens him up. An overcorrection from Scott Milner sends him way up the racetrack. Hard impact to the outside wall, and then collects the 113 of Placanica as well. Pretty big hit. Meanwhile, I think Chris Goins has just gotten his lap back. Indeed, he has. Still some damage on the 41, but I think he'll make do. Looks like Goins is going to pop down pit road here again, try to get some more repairs made to that number 41 Ford Mustang. Has to not lose another lap that he just got back. Cohen's back down and away. He's going to stay out on the lead lap in front of the leaders, try to get cycled back around. Lap 41 goes up on the timing tower. Pace car lights are out, so it'll be lap 42 for the restart. It's going to be Rhett Tucker and Kevin Winker. This is a battle we haven't seen a lot of this year, but when we have, it's been fun to watch. Jared Barclay, Chris Klein, Joe Tucker in the top 5 as the pace car hits pit road. We wait for Barney to wave the green.
Green flag.
Tucker remains the race leader over Kevin Winker. Winker about a car length off the back bumper of the 99. Jared Barclay right there, ready to pounce if the 42 makes any slight mistake. Chris Klein's a car length and a half behind the 10. Then it's Joe Tucker in 5th. Checking on Zach Millett, started 3rd here this afternoon. Uncharacteristic qualifying attempt. He's had so many pole positions this season, unable to get it done here in the finale. Does run back in that 6th position, just 1 position outside the top 5. Does have fresh right side tires, so that's going to aid him to the front here, but we'll see how long it takes and if he's got anything for the 99 of Rhett Tucker. Tucker's been awfully quick here so far. Interesting to note, there's only 2 drivers on the track right now that have yet to hit pit lane, and that's Rhett Tucker and Chris Klein, 1st and 4th on the racetrack. Millett taking a look to the inside, this for the 5th position. He's going to be awfully careful trying to get around the 101 of Joe Tucker. Tucker known to be one of the hardest guys to pass, regardless of where he is on the racetrack, if it's in the top 5 or last, it doesn't matter. He runs every lap like it's competition, and it is. Call him the Ryan Newman of the league. Millett now battling with Cameron Curto as he does kind of get trapped in behind the 101. Curto goes to the outside, the 77 now applying pressure to Zach Millett. Gets around, but still not quite clear. Maybe on a turn 4, and he does. Curto completes the pass. Another battle for position, Jesse Sperling, Jesse Redding, and now Derek Welch. Now remember, Derek Welch pancaked the right side of that race car out of turn 4 a handful of laps ago. He was in the 2nd position at the time. You see he has fallen back now quite a bit, running in the 10th position. Certainly affected that race car. Things unchanged here at the front of the field. Rhett Tucker, car length out in front over the 42 of Kevin Winker. Jared Barclay still runs in that third position, about a full second back from the leader. Zach Millett having a hard time here. He's tucked in behind Curto. He can't really move his way towards the front of the field here. He seems like he's got pace, but just can't move forward in the pack. Chris Klein running in the fourth position, still ahead of Joe Tucker. Tucker might be closing in on the 51. One lap away from halfway here from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Rhett Tucker still out in front. Winker, though, not giving him an inch. Don't know if Winker took tires on any of his pit stop. His only pit stop, which came at lap 16. It was likely just fuel. Top two drivers really starting to stretch out their advantage over the rest of the field. Rhett Tucker and Kevin Winker. Winker running in that second spot. He's got 1.2 seconds back to third place in Jared Barclay. Battle shaping up here. In behind him, Cameron Curto working his way towards the front of the field. A 24-second stop when he made it in lap 17. Again, we thought he may have taken tires at that point. It appears that maybe he has, because he does seem quick out of the box. Working on the top five here, still side by side with Joe Tucker. Taking a look to the inside while Joe Tucker's distracted with Cameron Curto. Millett's going to take advantage. He gets to the inside of the 101. Curto's up into the top five. Millett wants to try and take P6 from Tucker. Position. It's clear of Joe Tucker, but now Dylan Bryant might be putting the pressure on as well. He wants to try and take it. You gotta wonder if Joe Tucker just burned up his stuff a little bit earlier than everybody else. He's had plenty of pace. He's been fast. He's been up into the top 10 almost all night. Bryant settles in behind the 101. Meanwhile, Millett hanging on to sixth. Chris Klein, though, gets a piece of the wall on a turn number 4. That's going to make it a little bit easier for Zach to get on by. So moves Zach Millett into the fifth position. Chris Klein slips back to sixth, and now he's got Joe Tucker breathing down his neck. 66 laps complete here from Myrtle Beach Speedway, 67 that is. We're going to take an HBR TV side-by-side break, get that one out of the way, and we'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Myrtle Beach Speedway, Rhett Tucker continues to dominate here. We continue to watch this battle for about the 6th position between Jesse Sperling and Dylan Bryant and Jared Barclay. It's been hot and heavy to watch. Joe Tucker recently got clear of these 3 and started to get away from them. He runs in that 5th position. In contact, Sperling gets into the back of Barclay, loosens him up, slips him up the racetrack, relatively clean. He didn't wreck him. He didn't bump him. He didn't nudge him. He rubbed him. And you know what they say, rubbing's racing. Sperling now into the 6th position, quietly working his way forward. Tucker still in command here, but Winker still right there. 81 laps complete of 115. This one starting to wind down. Been really clean since our last caution. Started off a little rocky, but it's been nice ever since. Cameron Curto, the pole sitter, runs in the 3rd position. Zach Millen up to 4th, right in behind. I tell you, this battle up front, this is going to get a little more exciting, I think, before it's all said and done. Rhett Tucker's been strong, but I think Kevin Winker might be saving just a little bit for the end. Again, Tucker didn't make a pit stop yet, hasn't put any tires on. I don't know for sure that Kevin Winker has or has not taken tires. He did make one pit stop, though, 11.48 seconds. It would indicate enough time to change the right side tires if he opted to. Remember Zach Millett? He came down and he took right sides. It was 11.3, so Winker at 11:48, it's quite possible. He's got fresher right sides than Rhett Tucker. We'll see if it comes into play here, but the lap's winding down. Just about 30 remain. Some lap traffic going to come into play here. Chris Goins just up ahead. Chris, a pretty courteous driver, will likely give way to the race leaders once they're there. We'll see if Goins being there holds up these top 2 just a bit for 3rd and 4th to reel them in. Goes up the racetrack, lets the leaders get on by. It was not a great spot for Goins to be in for Winker, but nowhere really for him to go. Still gave him as much room as he possibly could, and really Winker didn't lose a whole lot of ground. It's down to maybe a quarter of a car length, if even that. Turn number 4, 90 laps go up on the board, 26 to go. Winker is there. Honestly, I really think he is quicker. The last couple of laps, he's been about a 10th, no, not quite a 10th, maybe a 100th to a half a 10th faster than Tucker. It's one thing to be quicker each lap, though. You just got to find enough of a run, enough of an open door all at the same time, but that all goes out the window. The caution comes out. Tony Placanica in trouble here on the front stretch. Puts us under yellow with 25 to go. This is going to answer a lot of questions as far as fuel and tires and getting everybody grouped back up. Of course, cautions breed cautions. Hopefully that isn't the case. Cameron Curto, Joe Tucker, Dylan Bryant, they're going to come down pit road right now. I don't know if it was even open. They may get dinged for this. We'll see. Right side tires going on the number 77 of Cameron Curto. We'll see if he goes with 4. It's really the only time I'd suggest it is under caution, but if he does have a left side sitting over the wall, does he take it? He does. He's going to lose a couple of spots here because of it, but he's going to have plenty of tire to the end. Drops the jack. Looks like he gets out before Jesse Redding, so Curto's going to rejoin here, I think, about ninth. He's going to have some work to do, but with fresh rubber, it should be of help. Meanwhile, out front, still Rhett Tucker. He stays on the racetrack, does not pit. I don't know, I got to assume he's got enough fuel. Got our fourth caution of the night. We haven't had a lot of them here. Been a really clean one. Winker's going to restart to the outside, and Zach Millett will restart third. And I got to be honest, Millett is probably in the best position considering he's not in the lead. I say ideally that's where you would want to be, but being in third on the restart, the outside car, the second place machine on these restarts, knowing that the leader can fire before anybody else, that's his advantage. It really kind of euchers the second place car on the restart. So it opens the door for an opportunity for Zach Millett to get to the inside of Winker quickly and take that spot away. Though we have seen, at least at the start of this race, we did see Kevin Winker on the start. Rhett Tucker on one of the restarts was able to get away very quickly, and Winker dumped down to the middle, to the inside right away. Hopefully Millett is conscious of that and try to time the restart with the 99 instead of the 42. Same token, though, you don't want to beat him to the line because that's going to result in a black flag and I'll race over. Pace car lights go out. It'll be 20-lap shootout to the end as long as we don't have any more cautions. Rhett Tucker trying to hang on here for, I believe, his first win of the season, if he can get it.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. And just as we expected here, Millett does get to the inside of Kevin Winker through 1 and 2, side by side on corner exit. Still the battle for the second spot. Millett not quite clear. He is now. Winker tucks in behind, tries to cross over. Taking a look to the inside off turn number 4. He's certainly switched it up back to the bottom. Winker now on the attack, trying to take back that second spot, and Rhett Tucker's just laughing all the way to the bank as these two continue to fight but lose ground to the 99. It's on like Donkey Kong here. Zach Millett still hanging tough to the outside. Winker cannot get clear. Might have to tuck back in, or these guys are not going to catch Rhett Tucker. 18 laps to go. "17 laps remain. Rhett Tucker, last race of the season, looking for his first win of the season. Kevin Winker started the season off with the race win, but the caution comes back out.
Like a protein shake or a bar or anything like that?
Some chaos here. We had Derek Welch, Tony Placanica, Joe Tucker. What did I say? Cautions breed cautions, and here we have it yet again. So now Millett will restart second, but he's going to need to really kind of guess when Rhett Tucker is going to fire off here if he wants to keep Kevin Winker from getting to his inside, doing the same thing that Millett did to him on the last restart. Let's get a look at this incident here to put us under the caution. Oh, this started way ahead of Placanica. I want to back it up just a hair. Looks like might have started with Joe Tucker and Jared Barclay. Barclay gets to the inside, almost all the way to the inside. Oh, there it is. We'll back it up a little further in case everybody missed it. There's, I don't want to call it necessarily a curb to the inside of the racetrack here, but as you see it, there's these little bumps on that big, solid white line there at the bottom of the racetrack. And it looks like Barclay may have hit those bumps. We'll try and slow it down here. Watch the 10, the red and black and white. Yeah, he hit the... I guess you can call them turtles. They're not quite turtles like you'd see at some of the road courses, but he definitely hopped one and jumped up into the 101 of Joe Tucker. Derek Welch gets into it, then chain reaction after that. Dylan Bryant runs over the 1. I think Jesse Redding might get a couple bent pieces of sheet metal out of this. Yes, he does. Brian Rose trying to get locked up. I think he's got the brake pedal all the way down. See, the front tires aren't even spinning. I think he just came to a stop, didn't get into anybody. And there you have it. Azarius 90 says, rumbles at the apron. I guess you could call them rumbles. That's more than a rumble. That'll break a ball joint and rip the front valence off the car if you hit it right. So going back to our conversation about the season and race wins, again, Kevin Winker kicked off this season at Phoenix with the win. Then it was Zach Millett for 4 in a row. And then we got to Nick Biddy at Martinsville. Nick ended up winning that race. Unfortunately, I don't think we've seen much of Nick since then. But since Martinsville and that win from Nick Biddy, Zach Millett's won every race since. Langley, Bristol, Rockingham, Wilkesboro, New Hampshire. Here we are at Myrtle Beach. He's got an opportunity here, but he's going to have to put behind him one of the fast drivers out here, and that's Rhett Tucker. It's going to be hard to guard, and he's hungry for a win. We're going to be 11 laps to go when we come back to the stripe. Pace car is in. Barney with the green, just waiting on the field.
Green flag.
There it is, green flag back in the air. Rhett Tucker with a great jump. Millett stays to the outside, doesn't try to block off that low lane. He's going to have the run out of 2. A little bit of contact from Kevin Winker. Millett might have got clear. He does. So Millett still maintains the 2nd position. Rhett Tucker to the race lead. He gets the wall up, turn number 4. That's going to really draw Millett closer. 10 laps to go. Rhett Tucker looking in his mirror, probably mirror driving like crazy, takes away the preferred line, forces Millett to the outside. Little loose is the 315. Winker might have got the turtles at the bottom of the racetrack as well. Now Cameron Curto gets to the inside of Winker. We got a 3-wide battle for the 2nd spot. Millett way up top, Winker up the middle, and Curto on the bottom. Jesse Sperling trying to get into this mix as well. They're still 3 wide in 3 and 4. Who's going to give? Can they get through this? How did they do it? Millett gets the outside wall, pounds it hard. He's got some right front damage. Chris Klein gets to the bottom too. He gets into those turtles. He slides up the racetrack. Millett goes from the 2nd position on the restart back to about 5th here, and he's still battling with Sperling for that spot. I think his chance at the win has gone out the window. Meanwhile, Rhett Tucker still out front and driving away, but Cameron Curto in the 2nd spot. 6.5 laps to go for the 99. He's got the 77 closing in. He's got half a tenth into that margin in just a couple of corners. He closes back again, another tenth into turns 1 and 2. Curto is on rails. Remember, he put fresh tires on in one of those recent cautions. He's going to be hard to guard. Gets to the outside. 5.5 laps to go. Curto to the outside of Rhett Tucker. Coming to the stripe. It'll be 5 laps to go. Curto leads that lap. Tucker still to the inside. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Tucker still not letting Curto get clear. Curto on the outside finally drives around. The caution comes out just as Curto completes the pass. Looks like Curtis Cairns may have had an issue. No, it was Chris Klein. So he's driving back up, likely to show his displeasure with somebody. Double O Joe, possibly. I don't know who he was racing with at the time. He's not a happy camper, it doesn't seem. Watch this for a moment here. Unless he was just trying to get back up in that spot. Now, let's see what happened here to the 51 of Chris Klein just a moment ago. Put us under yet another caution here late. Oh, Sperling got turned. It looks like off the nose of Barclay. Klein nowhere really to go. Has to just stand on the brakes. Doesn't hit anything. Might have scraped the wall, but no significant impact by any means. Let's watch this a little closer here. Yeah, watching that a little closer, it looks like the 10 drove into the back bumper of Sperling all the way down the straightaway and into turn 3. Let's ride on board and see what it looked like. Now, he was close, but it wasn't until the corner that he got on the back bumper, but definitely Barclay got into him, turned him around. Klein's going to maintain his position in 7th. I think Curto is in the best position possible right now. Out front, fresh tires compared to the rest of the field. Rhett Tucker, though he's quick, he's in that 2nd position. Has not made a pit stop per se. He does show some pit lane time, but no pit count, so he has not stopped in his box unless there's a glitch with the live timing. This will take us to overtime. Next time by, we should start lap 115, but it's actually going to be our 1 to go, I believe. So our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish here from Myrtle Beach. Here we go. Pace car lights are off. First attempt at a green-white checkered finish here from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Cameron Curto, Rhett Tucker in the top 2. Kevin Winker and Zach Millett in the mix. Millett back in this top 4 category here. He's got an opportunity still. We'll see if he can make it pay. It's going to take a big effort here for the 315.
Ready, green
flag back in the air, and we're racing hopefully to a finish here. 2 laps to go for Myrtle Beach. Contact door to door into turn number 1. Curto bounces off the 99. They stay side by side. Exit at turn number 2. Tucker edges out in front. Into turn 3. No one's going to give here. Curto uses them up in the middle of 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag. Final lap from Myrtle Beach. Still side by side for the race lead. Millett trying to squeak up the middle here. Oh, Tucker goes around. Millett involved as well. Big time impact, and Curto's going to drive away with it. Off turn number 4. First win of the season for the 77 of Curto. We got a huge wreck off turn number 4. Joe Tucker on his lid. Zach Millett wrecking. Driver still trying to get to the start-finish line. Jesse Redding doing it in backwards. What a mess. Cameron Curto, your race winner. Joe Bennett was second. Dylan Bryant came home third. That's going to wrap it up here. We're going to step aside, get a break out of the way, and hopefully be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Mark.
Cameron, congratulations on the race win here at Myrtle Beach. No race next week to look forward to, but man, it was a hard-fought season. You made a pit stop here late, take on 4 tires, and it certainly paid off. Got you here at the front of the field with a checkered flag, man. Walk us through those closing laps and, of course, that green-white checkered finish.
Man, yeah, the tires, taking those late into the race, I was able to really put the car anywhere. If I wanted to go on the outside, I could put it out there. If I wanted to go on the inside, it kind of worked there too. Apologies to the 99. I did kind of get into him coming out of 4, but you know, it was crazy. I'm looking at my rear view and there's just I don't know what's happening behind me, but it looked like a nightmare.
Now, we saw that contact there in the middle of 3 and 4 coming to the white flag. I mean, if it was lap 10, 12, 15, something like that, I'd say that was kind of crappy. But coming to the white, last race of the season, fighting for your first win of the season, I can't say that I blame you there. I think anybody would have done it. We saw a lot of that actually happening on the last couple of laps as it was. But nonetheless, you take the checkered flag, a great way to wrap up the season, man. Congratulations. Who do you want to shout out to?
Again, shout out to my family for watching every race that I do attend. My dad just sent me a text saying a nice job and whatnot. And yeah, that's it. You guys as well for putting on a great broadcasting all season, having something to look back forward to.
Well, Cameron, again, it was fun to watch you this season. You had pace just about every race. It's just sometimes the luck doesn't fall your way. Tonight it certainly did. Pit strategy worked out. And, of course, you take this win. Congratulations again. Thanks for being here this season, and hopefully we'll see you running over in No Bull when we get these things kicked off here soon.
Oh, yeah, you guys will see me.
Cameron Curto, your race winner here from Myrtle Beach Speedway, taking the checkered flag. Next, we're going to try and pull 00 Joe Bennett up into the broadcast booth next and get a word with our runner-up here from Myrtle Beach. Joe, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Joe Bennett, second place finish here at Myrtle Beach. I know there was some absolute chaos there in the last couple of corners of this race. First off, what did it look like out the windshield of your machine? Because you picked up a bunch of spots there at the end.
Yeah, I think I went from 10th, me and Dylan, 10th and 11th, all the way to 2nd and 3rd, and like the backstretch, and then I don't know, I was just driving and I saw a car flying up top, and I'm like, oh God, all right, let me miss that one. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, man, everybody's diving low, let me just go high. And I just got lucky and avoided everything, went right around the outside, me and Dylan. It was crazy last lap.
It was like the big one at Talladega, except on a much smaller racetrack with almost as many cars, and you managed to weave your way through it to a second place finish. An awesome run, a good season, great way to end this season here in this late model stock. Congratulations, Joe, man. Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, definitely been a great season. I just want to thank everybody over at NTRL and my teammates, Plus EV Racing, and you know, I just want to thank you guys for broadcasting and you know, everything that everybody does for the league to make it happen, man. I really do appreciate it.
Well, Joe, it was a fun one for sure. Hopefully we can continue this over on the No Bull side of things. Maybe we'll see you, maybe we won't. If we don't, that's okay. But if we do, we'd be more than happy to have you run out with us on the No Bull Racing Series when we kick these late models back off.
Yeah, I'm definitely have to check it out. I just saw that tonight, so I'll be checking into it.
Well, Joe, again, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in future league races here in Numb Thumbs.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Joe Bennett, your runner-up here at Myrtle Beach. Next, we're going to talk to the number 8 of Dylan Bryant, who also had a heroic run to the finish. Picked up almost 8 positions there on the final couple of corners. Dylan, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got me?
Steve, what's going on, brother?
Dylan, congratulations, man. A solid run tonight. Got even better in the last couple of corners. You managed to work your way through, finish in the 3rd spot. You started 12th here tonight, so you can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Walk us through your race. What was the strategy tonight, and what were you thinking when you saw those guys wrecking in 3 and 4 on that final lap?
Well, the biggest strategy for me was just to try to stay clean. I know it was a lot on the line for the playoff guys and stuff, so so my main goal was to avoid them, but then the green white checker, man, I told my teammate Russell, I was like, I'm gonna bring back just the steering wheel if I got to, and dang, man, I brought back the whole car. Like, I brought the steering wheel, the whole car, the 4 tires, everything. Everybody was crashing. I was, I was upset because I was starting on the outside for like the 10th time, and but it was kind of, a break. So, with the first initial crash on the white flag on the back stretch, I barely made it past that, and then 3 and 4, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go high and mat it, and then everybody started crashing. So, at times I'd rather be lucky than the good. So it was a great race. So.
Take these good finishes however you can get them, whether it's talent, luck, combination of A and B, or a combination of everybody else having a nightmare in turns 3 and 4. Whatever it takes to take a solid finish, and you did it here tonight, Dylan. A good season, a great finish here tonight. You going to come over and run in No Bull here when this thing kicks off again?
Depends on what night it is. I do run the NTRL, so it depends on if the schedule is on an NTRL night. So, but if not, I most likely will.
Well, we're gonna try and keep it on the same night. Obviously, there's a lot of details that need to be worked out before we make any major announcements. But we're gonna shoot for that. Obviously, we want the guys that ran this season to be able to come back and continue to run if they want to do that. So, again, more details to follow. But go ahead, jump over to the No Bull Discord there so we can keep everybody updated. And of course, we'll probably post over in Numb Thumbs as well. But either way, man, a great season. Congratulations. Strong run here tonight. Who do you want to thank?
First and foremost, my teammate Russell, and then the entire All-Star Racing family. Albert is their leader and stuff, and looks forward to going back and watching this race and stuff. So that there's cool to squeeze out a third for him. Also, the sponsors: Sim Gear Central, Trap Bar Media, DEP Graphics, Martin Sports, HBR TV. Steve, you do a outstanding job and stuff. And I want to congratulate the champion. I don't know exactly who is the champion yet, but it was a great season for the guys and stuff. And then the admins. Thank you, Derek. I know you passing the late model on into some good hands, and I stand behind it and stuff. And I will definitely check out the No Bull. I know I've been on their Discord for a long time now, so I probably will just go in there and check it out more, and hopefully it's on a good night, and I'll catch you next time, Steve.
All right, Dylan. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Again, congratulations, and hope to see you in the next season, man.
All right, you have a great night. Thank you.
Dylan Bryant, your third place finisher here at Myrtle Beach. Next, we're going to pull up Derek Welch. Derek Welch, driver of the number 1 Dep Graphics machine. Derek, welcome to the HBR TV booth. We're going to bring Chris Klein up into the booth as well. I hear you have some words that you want to express here to the broadcast.
Well, let's be honest right here. I know Chris Klein won the championship. Let's be honest. This is more or less a participation award. George, Zach Myrtle dominated the entire season. He dominated the entire season. He should be the champion right now. But the way we got the league right now to keep the numbers up, keep drivers interested, keep drivers a chance to win. Chris Klein ran a hell of a season. I mean, he did. He stayed consistent all season. Never really won one, but he stayed consistent. He was there all season. And he finished tonight backwards. He won the championship. We thought Myrtle Beach was going to be a dragger, for a last race, scheduled race, but it ended up being kind of exciting. So I want to congratulate Chris Klein on the championship. Zach Millett, I know he's probably mad or crying right now, or probably outside running around his house or something looking for burglars or something. But
Knock, knock.
Yeah, he finished second place, but great season for Zach, man. He dominated the entire season. He does it in all our leagues. He's one of a kind racer, and he's the reason why we got to make playoff rules like this. So it's all his fault. Just blame it on him. But as I said earlier to the drivers, Noble's going to be taking over this league, and I'm hoping most all the drivers will transfer over there, and hopefully Noble can keep it going.
Well, with that said, I'm glad to have you up here, Derek. Thanks for having us broadcast this and in other leagues throughout the year. We do appreciate it. You guys are, I guess you could even call you guys almost like a sister league, because we've been kind of working together for quite some time now, and it's been a good relationship. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Do appreciate the patronage here for it, and it's been a blast covering your leagues.
Oh yeah, HBR TV and especially all the guys, HBR TV with Zach, Vince, Jesse, Brian, all the guys, Track Bar Media. I mean, it's when I got involved with all y'all guys, it ended up being like family. Like right off the bat, got along, working well together, and it's been all three of us together, man. I think we're leads to be reckoned with out there in the iRacing world.
Well, once again, Derek, do appreciate it. Let's push you out of the way here and bring our champion to the booth, Chris Klein. You got us?
Can you hear me, Steve?
Let's try it again.
Me now?
There we go. Loud and clear.
I said let's use that word very loosely. I feel a little embarrassed about how the last race went. It should have been a much cleaner race. The race itself was pretty good until the last 10 laps. It just, some guys were a little over aggressive, which we've seen kind of all season. And in all honesty, I had kind of given up and just was kind of hoping something like that was going to happen, and maybe I could pick up a spot or two, finish in the top 3, and it just worked out the way that it worked out. I hate it for Zach, who had a dominant season. Should be in here right now having this conversation with you and not me, that's for sure.
Well, it does appear that Zach may have honestly tripped over his own feet here. He had pace in practice, didn't put the car on the pole, and really didn't lead a lap at all tonight. I don't believe. He was awfully close to it if he didn't, but never really had the pace that he needed to match with a lot of these guys tonight. Obviously, things went kind of chaotic there in the last lap in 3 and 4, but Superman is not invincible. Zach Millett can be beat. I've said it all season long, though he's won a bunch of races. He's not perfect. None of these guys are. And on that day, if you're just a little bit better than normal, you can pick up a win, or in your case, a championship. Don't knock yourself down, man. You earned it. You played by the rules that were provided, and you are the champion of the NTRL Late Model Stock Tour. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm teammates with Kevin, and I was sitting behind that group watching, and I saw Zach get in the wall, and I radioed to Kevin that I saw that. And, you could tell that his car was a little off. He wasn't getting the run that he wanted. He couldn't get back to the bottom, I don't think, the way that he wanted to. And in all honesty, going into 3, I saw that they were getting together, and that bottom lane was open, and I shot it, and I think Kevin came down and turned right across my nose, and that's kind of what stacked everything up. And the car spun around and was backwards up against the wall, and I was just, as fast as I can, get it in reverse and just pin it to the floor and see where it all shook out. And just happy that it worked out. I mean, Zach was right on my heels. I think he was like 2 car lengths behind me after I crossed the line or something like that. But it was an interesting finish, that's for sure. One that'll be remembered for a while.
Well, either way, congratulations. A championship for Chris Klein. Hopefully we can see you here in some of these Noble races as they get kicked off when the time comes. Either way, man, it's been a pleasure. Congratulations again. Who do you want to thank for helping you get to this point in this season?
The NTRL group for putting on this league. I know we were kind of the NTRL group was taking a little bit of a break, and we threw this league together just to kind of keep everybody interested and involved. We're a pretty tight knit group over at NTRL, and like to hang out and talk to each other and race together. And so we didn't want to go this big long span of not having anything. So we kind of put this loosely together, and it turned out to be overall a pretty decent league, and had a lot of fun with it. Want to thank all of them, especially Derek. I know he took on a lot more than he normally does, didn't have the whole support staff that he normally does with the leagues. All of our sponsors over there. Thank AMCO for being our primary sponsor for this league. Want to thank Dale's AAA Blinds with Hunter Douglas for putting the logos on the car and letting us carry their carry their logos this season. I was proud to do that. And be awesome to call them in the morning and see how they feel about it watching it. You know, they're out of town in Tampa getting treatments, like I've mentioned before, with the logo on the deck lid. So hopefully that put a smile on their face as they're dealing with that this week. But hey, that's about it.
All right, Chris. Well, once again, man, congratulations. Whether you think you earned it or not, you earned it. Congratulations, man. An awesome run. Again, a championship here. Nothing to be disappointed about. I know we didn't get a win this season, but this is the part that matters, that championship. Nice job.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for all you do.
Chris Klein, your champion here in the Numb Thumbs Racing League Late Model Stock Tour. He takes it. Let's step aside here. We'll get a quick view at our race results. We're not going to break. What am I talking about? Cameron Curto wins the race. Joe Bennett finishes in the second spot. Dylan Bryant came home third. Fourth place, Curtis Cairns. Anthony Williams finishes fifth. Chris Klein wins the championship from the sixth position. Chris Goins, after that early crash, finishes seventh. Zach Millett, after the last lap crash, finishes eighth. Tom Janikowski was ninth. Jesse Redding, 10th. Jesse Sperling was 11th. Derek Welch finished in the 12th spot. Joe Tucker was 13th. Kevin Winker, 14th. Rhett Tucker finished in the 15th spot. Russ Endicott was 16th. 17th place finisher was Jared Barclay. Tony Placanica, 18th. Brian Rose, 19th. And last but not least, Scott Milner was 20th, 83 laps down. Got to thank you guys all for tuning in here this season. I do appreciate it. It has been a lot of fun. I really like these late model stocks, these short tracks. That's racing in my eyes. I know the season kind of started off a little rough and tumble with caution after caution after caution ad nauseum. But the admins over at NTRL, Derek Welch included, they really went to work, made some changes. They were willing to outsource some opinions and asking other leagues, hey, what do you guys do? What do you suggest? How do we clean this up? He was hesitant. I'll tell you right now, he didn't want to make changes because this is how he had planned it. He wanted it to run a certain way, and it unfortunately just wasn't going that way. He ultimately made the changes that needed to be made, and the season just got a little bit better. A lot better, I will say. This race was excellent. I know we had a handful of cautions at the beginning and then some late, but man, ultimately, I'd say this season went very well. The guys cleaned things up. The guys that were really dedicated, they put in the work, put in the effort, and it showed throughout the course of the season, all the way up into Myrtle Beach here tonight. With that said, thank you guys all for tuning in and being in the stream chat. We had a lot of people tonight. I wasn't able to really comment on a lot of you guys, unfortunately. Sorry about that, guys, but each and every week we had a bunch of you here. Jake Sperling, Trevor Cash, I think that was a new name. Babe Shane S, maybe that's a joint account. I don't know, says Go Jared. Azarius 90, thank you. Jake Sperling, of course. Lisa and Lori. Kyle Turzak out of the IROC Challenge Series. He jumped in here late. Speaking of guys that dominate, he's been kicking tail over an IROC. And his comment was, I see late models. Keep in mind, Kyle, if you're still watching, this season 2 is going to kick off with No Bull, the No Bull Racing Series here in the near future. Don't have a date yet, but I'll keep you in mind when the time comes. But with that said, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. As Azarius said earlier on in the broadcast, click that like button, click the share. Help us out with that. Pushes the stream to a wider audience, helps us at the channel, and it helps the league overall. It's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We'll see you at the next one.